This edition of MacVoices is supported by Take Control Books, the answers you need now from leading experts. Visit TakeControlBooks.com to find out what you can learn. And by MacVoices Magazine, our free Flipboard magazine that brings you some of the best Mac, iPhone, and iPad productivity tips on the web. High in signal, low in noise, just like MacVoices, MacVoices Magazine includes information on how you can get more out of your Apple technology. Subscribe at MacVoices.com/magazine or search for MacVoices Magazine on Flipboard. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the Talk of the Mac community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, today's guests, I'd love to have these guys on because they always have great new products. I hate to have them on because they always show me up because they've got all this cool fancy gear and everything, and they put together such a polished production. But we're going to overlook that anyway and just go straight for the product. I'm happy to have Bastian Wolfe back from Boinx Software, this time to talk about the new PhotoMagico 5. Bastian, it's great to see you.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Great to see you too, and thanks for having me on the show.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure, and even better, we're going to get to see you and the guys from Boinx live and in person at NAB in just a few weeks.
Yeah, and it's going to be warm there. Yeah. So compared to frozen Germany.
Well, and compared to Pennsylvania right now too. So we're all looking forward to it.
Great.
So we're here to talk about PhotoMagico 5. Just when I thought you guys couldn't do anything else cool to your tool, PhotoMagico, you come out with a whole new version with lots of cool new stuff. Yeah,
we worked on this quite a while, and we are ready to release it to the public.
Well, then let's do it. Let's let you show us some of the Magico, as we said. Behind PhotoMagico 5.
Let's do that. Yeah, I just launched it. I just launched PhotoMagico 5, and the first thing you will see that's already changed is the start screen focuses a little bit more on the previously done work you have, and the selection process where you want to present something to is even easier. So basically, you just choose your stage size when you want to start with a new project, and you hit New Slideshow, and bam, you're in. And there is the next thing that's completely new in PhotoMagico 5. It's much darker. It's like the Pro apps from Apple. This just lets you focus more on the actual content. The photos pop more when the surroundings are darker than the photos themselves, and that's why we lowered the lightness of the entire application. So we have a brand new dark user interface, and I think people will love that. And that's just how the polish is and how it's on the surface. But there is so much more stuff on the inside of PhotoMagico, and I just can't wait to tell you about the new stuff. And the first thing that is inside of PhotoMagico is the so-called snippets. And creating a slideshow in PhotoMagico has always been super easy. You just tell your story with your photos. You just put them in succession. You add some music, and with snippets, we try to make this even easier by pre-creating certain kinds of building blocks for your slideshow. So snippets are already inside of PhotoMagico 5, and they come in different categories. So you can now choose the building blocks, like you can choose intros, you can choose titles, you can choose stories, which are a complete narrative. You can do split screens with ease. You can do special effects, credits for the end of your slideshow, and there is even music that I will come to in a second. And how this works is actually super easy. So let's go for stories right away. And I choose the sightseeing snippet. And once I drag in this one single snippet, it expands to 34 slides in this case. So, and all I have to do now is select slides in the storyboard, and you will see PhotoMagico displays a placeholder. It also displays a dashed edge around the image, and it also tells you what it expects here. The thing is, we thought a lot about how to tell a story best, how to tell, in this case, your sightseeing trip best. So all you have to do now is go to your image library and fill in the photos, in this case, from your last sightseeing trip, and replace the placeholders. So I'm choosing photos, and in the photos library, I will find the pics from the last Peru trip. In this case, PhotoMagico expects a panorama. So I will just feed it a panorama. I can either drop it here, or I can also select the next one and then drop it right into the stage. FotoMagico will then replace the placeholder with your actual content, and well, let's just batch replace a couple of them so you get the idea. So let's just grab a couple of them and put them in. And now I have populated a part of the slideshow, and I can check it, and you will hear in a second it has music. And the visuals are already timed to the music. And all I had to do was choosing the photos, and everything else, all the suggestions, what photo to take next, are done by the snippet themselves. So that's the easy way to go from 0 to a full story in a couple of minutes, just by filling in your own photos. So something that is important, or maybe super important when it comes to slideshows, is audio. Music just drives a slideshow, and some people always had the issue where to get music that they can actually use. And with FotoMagico 5, we are gonna help you with that, because FotoMagico 5 has what I said before, so-called music snippets. So if you go to music in snippets, you will find different moods of music. And like this, you can now say, well, I want to create a cheerful slideshow, and this gives you different music snippets that you can just use in your slideshow, and you are free to use them, because the music that we ship with FotoMagico 5 is what's called Creative Commons music. So it's music that's created by artists for free, and you can use them in your own projects, and all you have to do is credit the author or the artist in that case, and even that is handled by FotoMagico, because FotoMagico automatically adds in a credit slide at the very end. So the same thing here as before, I added in the music snippet, and now again I go into my photos library, I select a couple of images, drag them to the storyboard, and we again have the timing to the music defined by the music snippet. So let's play that back. And as you can see, matching the beat, there are now transitions in the slideshow. So you don't have to worry about buying music anymore just for the slideshow, buying licenses for the music anymore, because you can use the music that comes with FotoMagico. There are a lot more snippets that you can download from our website and spice up your slideshows even more. So having the ability to choose music and don't worry about the licenses takes a lot off your mind, and you can again focus on the actual content again.
I love this. This is something that I think a lot of us have struggled with, trying to use iMovie or Final Cut to time things, and we all know that Photos and iPhoto before it really didn't give us a lot of good music options. So this just seems such a logical way to do it, and it's even better that you have already, not only have you licensed the music for us or arranged for it, but you've also set the timing in there right away, so that all I have to do is just take my slides or photos, drop them in, and go.
Yeah, that's the entire point. So that's as easy as it goes. So let's just combine the building blocks that we just had and create a really short slideshow. So in this case, I will go to intros. I will add a simple intro. The simple intro has my name. It has the title of my slideshow, and it has a blank frame. So users can, well, the viewers can start to get in the mindset for the actual slideshow. Then I have the intro. Now I add a story. I again add the sightseeing story, and at the very end, I can go to credits and add rolling credits. And now again, all I have to do is fill in all the blanks, fill in all the placeholders, and then I can start from the beginning. If I have a couple of images put in, and we will play this back from the very beginning, and it tells the viewer my name, it tells the viewer what the slideshow name is, and then the actual slideshow starts. And now it starts. And at the very end, it shows scrolling credits with the slideshow titles again, who made the photos and who made the music. And again, this is something, in this case, FotoMagico automatically pulls the data from the audio track that's used to display in the scrolling credits. So again, you don't have to worry about the credits in this case again.
Bastian, in the case of what you just created there, do we? It seemed like that maybe the blank the blank part between the title and the slides might have been a little long. Are we going to mess up the music if we try to retime that, or is it just that's the way it needs to be?
The thing is the blank slide at the very beginning is there wasn't music yet. So if we felt this was just way too long, we can do what we were able to do in FotoMagico all the time before. We just select the slide, go to options, and tell it, well, I just want this to be 2 seconds. So I just typed in 2 seconds in the duration field at the top right. And now if we go back and now see migrate slideshow, that tells everyone the title. Now we have a 2-second pause, and then the music starts.
Got it. Okay.
And if we deleted a photo in the middle of the slideshow, we could do that, and this wouldn't mess up the timing either, because timing is tied to audio markers. I will tell you more about audio markers in a second, so you don't have to worry about removing a photo, for example. It will still be on time like it was before. So everything just shifts to the left and everything is fine. So one thing that you can do with snippets as well, as I said before, you can create split screens, and this has never been easier. So maybe I want to create a side-by-side view of 2 photos that I created. Then I just drag in my split screen, and I can do this, for example, with portrait photos. I have 2 photos of 2 tiny roads in Peru that I have to find. So there is one, and there is the other one. And this is all I did. I just selected the photos, and if I now hit play, they will be displayed side by side and moving in different directions. And this took me a couple of seconds, and I'm done. And this can be done with 2 ups. We also have 3 ups and 4 ups, so you can just go crazy with those, and it's super easy to create them without having to fiddle with this manually. It's just dragging it in and done. The last cool thing about snippets, let's say you are, for example, a wedding photographer, and you shoot weddings all the time, over and over again. And, well, something that you do is you deliver a slideshow at the very end, and it's basically always the same thing. I mean, that's how weddings work. The couple gets married, there's a party, and that's pretty much it. So you have a certain narrative you can follow. So what you could do is you could build the slideshow once, you could build the narrative once, and then save this as a snippet. So I created a short wedding slideshow that I want to turn into a snippet. So I created the slideshow already. So it starts with some photos from the photo shoot, and then we go over to the party. And to turn this into a snippet that I can just use as a template in the future, all I have to do is I select all the photos that I want to be placeholders, in this case all of them. I do a right click, I hit File, and tell FotoMagico these files that I just selected are placeholder files. And now I tell FotoMagico to save this as a snippet. So I just hit Save Snippet, I call it Wedding, that's fine. It saves it, and now let's start with a new slideshow and go back to snippets. And suddenly we will find the My Snippets category in FotoMagico. So I drag the wedding snippet over there, and now we can see all those photos have borders around them, which indicate they are placeholders. So I can just now drag in the photos of the next couple and export the slideshow and show it at the reception, or give it as a DVD or a Blu-ray or on a thumb drive to the bride and groom, and everybody's happy. And I had as little work during the wedding as possible, and that speeds up the workflow of a professional photographer as well.
There's so many uses I could see that for. The wedding photographers is a great one,
Mm-hmm.
but there are situations where you need to present standardized information.
Yeah.
You work hard on trying to get that presentation exactly the way you want it, but then somebody says, well, I'd like you to change this, or I want to
Mm-hmm.
drop in all new photos or whatever, and then you have to go back and redo everything. This way, I love that. You create the ideal presentation of your photos, and then I can add anything to it I want as many times as I want.
Yeah, just think about a store window where you display the I don't know, the hot item of the week, and all you have to do is you just throw in the snippet. This has a placeholder for the price and a placeholder for the image. You just drop that in, and you play this slideshow in your store window all day long. And next week you just drag in the new hot item that you want to sell this week, and that's done in no time.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. I love it.
So that's pretty much everything about snippets, but that's not where we stopped. I told you about audio markers before, when we timed music and photos together, and creating audio markers has just become so much easier with FotoMagico 5. So first, let's grab a piece of music again. So I'm just dragging in a short piece of music, and now I want to time my photos to the music. First, of course, I need to select a couple of photos. So let's grab a couple of them. Yeah, that's probably enough. So I put them in. Right now, they're all at 6 seconds. Now I want them to be timed to the music. And to do that, I can create audio markers. Before, there were various ways to do audio markers. Now there is a super easy way to do that. You go to the slideshow menu, and you will find first, of course, you have to select the audio file. Then you select the audio marker assistant. And with the audio marker assistant, there are two ways to create audio markers. Either let's first delete all of the markers. You can create custom markers just by playing it back. And you click whenever you hit the beat. And when you find, well, I was not that accurate here, you just grab the marker, and there you go. These will be the points where FotoMagico does the next transition. Another way of doing that, because most of the music has a linear beat, you can just create periodic markers. So I delete all of the markers again, and now I can just define the BPM of the song. So this looks about right now. You can also adjust the offset and select if you want every beat or just every other beat or something like this. And then you just click OK. And FotoMagico will automatically add in audio markers and will adjust the timing of the slides. So if I play this back now, this is now matched to the music. This was pretty quick, of course. But like this, it's super easy to match the slides to your audio just without having to manually adjust display times and stuff like that, and just by creating markers in your audio using an assistant. If the music that you're using there also already has BPM information in that, FotoMagico will read that BPM information and will automatically put it into the BPM field. So you just have to, for example, adjust the offset to make the markers match your audio.
The hours I've spent trying to hit those beats and do it right, and you just showed me not only can you make it easy to hit the beats, then you automate it for me to make sure that I get it right once I actually, all I have to do is hit one or two beats and then you fix it for me. Wow.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the trick behind it. While we are at assistants, let's take a look at another assistant that we have, and that's the animation assistant. So right now, if we take a look at this, the zoom is pretty dramatic for all of the photos. And maybe we want this to be a little bit more subtle. We want a softer zoom. Let's also, in this case, drop in a panoramic photo. So yeah, let's put this in the very beginning. And we will see the panorama is going to pan. Maybe we want to display everything. And so we can now adjust all of those settings using an assistant. So I just selected all of the photos. I go to slideshow. and I go to the animation assistant. And with the animation assistant, I can batch process all of those photos. So for example, I can tell FotoMagico to go very slow on the animation speed. And for example, I want panoramic images to be completely visible. I don't want to pan and zoom over them. And like this, I can adjust pretty much every type of photo that might be in my slideshow just by checking boxes or unchecking boxes and choosing options. And like this, I do all my adjustments, I hit OK, and now if I go back and play this back, you will first see the panorama is not panning, and now the animation is super subtle, as you can see there. So like this, it is very easy to batch process a lot of photos and the behavior of the photos without having to manually go in and tell FotoMagico, well, I want the zoom to be a little bit more. You can now do that just with a couple of clicks with a lot of photos at the same time.
Very, very nice. Very nice. You seem to have streamlined so many different workflows here by using the assistants and the snippets and all. I'm very impressed by just how easy it is to get some of this stuff done.
Yeah, that was the key. The thing is, customers. I mean, we actually listen to customers. That might be a surprise to many, but that's what we actually do. So people told us, I wish that it was easier for me to batch process everything like that. There were a lot of ways to do that, but it could always be easier. And like this, like for example, the audio marker assistant and the animation assistant, it was possible before, but it was much harder. And like this, it's now super easy for everyone to do without having to fiddle with each individual image. And like this, it just comes down to speed. And again, one of the key features of FotoMagico is you want to focus on the actual story that you want to tell. You don't want to have a computer science degree just to operate the software. It should just be as easy as possible. So, and that's been the key doing this.
We're all taking so many more photos, Bastian, and we share them. Okay, we share them by photo sharing sites, or maybe you throw them up on social media. But those are little bits, and you don't really get the true impact of them. This gives folks a way to share things, an easy way to share things in an impressive presentation.
Yeah,
with, like you said, with not only with not a computer science degree, but not taking hours and hours on a Saturday afternoon trying to create that presentation.
Correct. Yeah, that was the one of the key reasons why we went down that road. So yeah. So since we were talking about audio before, there is still more I can tell you about FotoMagico 5. So what people asked about a lot is, we want more than fading in and fading out at the beginning and the end of a track. We want fading in the middle of the track. We want what's called audio envelopes. And we know that from video editing applications, and so we brought that to FotoMagico as well. So what you can do now in FotoMagico is you can tell FotoMagico, well, at this very point, I want to add an audio envelope, volume envelope point. I just did that. I have to hit the yellow line here. And now I can adjust the audio by grabbing one of those points. And as you can see at the very end, the audio now fades down here. And I can do the same thing the other way around, add more envelope points afterwards, and fade back up. And what it does now is when we play this back, now the volume fades down for the time, and then it fades back up. I hope this doesn't get too compressed over our call here, but I think you get the idea. I can even lower the volume down to 0 if I wanted to, and then you will most likely hear the difference. It's going to fade down in a second to 0, and there is no more music. And I can do that over and over again. I can do as many volume fades as I want to do, and now it's coming back up. And the fade can be as long as I want. So it can be a very, very slow fade. So like this, you can add in like a sound effect, a short one, and just lower the volume here. Or if you're coming to a part of the music that gets really loud, but you want this to be lowered down, then you just lower the volume of this part of the song. And like this, you can adjust audio just like in video and editing, audio editing applications, just within the timeline.
All right, I've got to ask, and I may be jumping ahead, but do we have the capability of having multiple audio tracks? I'm thinking background music and narration.
Absolutely. So yes, you can do that. So let's expand this a little bit and grab another audio track. So in this case, let's just get some ambience. Let's get a waterfall sound, and I just add this one in. So I just added a waterfall, and as a second track, we can use three tracks if we want to. And now this makes even more sense if I wanted to. So I can now lower the volume of the music while the waterfall is playing. So we just hear a little bit of the waterfall, and in the middle we can just start bringing back the music volume. So we have multiple tracks there, and now we have a second audio track. You know, we heard the waterfall. It would, of course, make sense if we had actually waterfall pictures, which we don't. But yeah. you probably got the idea. So, well, there was water.
There was water,
in the photo.
Perfect.
So yes, you can have up to 3 audio tracks and up to 6 visual tracks at the same time and mix them together. So this is possible, and envelopes are available for all of them. So I can do the same thing with a waterfall. So I can either just lower the entire volume or just bring up the waterfall for a second or two in the middle of the recording. So yes, this is possible.
Bastian, I'm probably destroying the order of your demo, and I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
But as things come up, I want to make sure we don't miss them. 3 audio tracks, but you said 6 visual tracks?
Yeah, correct.
So what kind of things can we do with the visual tracks, as well as photos, of course?
So we can just layer photos if we want to. We can use videos if we want. So if I'm going to my movies tab, I can grab another photo, for example, a video, for example, and drag this either as its own video or as a second layer on top of the first layer. And like this, I can use the photo just like the video, just like a photo. So like this, I have both video and photo playing at the same time, and the video can also be. Okay, I need to just select the video, and the video can also just be its own visual element, and you can animate both videos and photos just the same. So if you want to pan and zoom over a video, feel free to do so. FotoMagico will not mind, and you can just do that. And one more thing, and that actually leads me to the last new feature in FotoMagico 5 that we have as a visual track are titles. So you can add titles on top of your photos quite easily. So just by clicking the Add Title button here above the timeline or storyboard, I can add in titles. And well, let's just do a intro. Let's call it again My Great Slideshow. And something we see right now, well, it's black on a dark background, so maybe we want to change the options, and we made the access to fonts and font sizes and colors a lot easier. So right now in the options panel on the right hand side, you will find all the options that you might need. Well, I want a lighter color, so let's choose white. And now in FotoMagico 5 you can also add backgrounds. So let's still use a darker background with translucency. And as you can see now, let's zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. We now have a white text on a gray transparent background just by creating this and editing all of the aspects of the title is super easy because they're all exposed right there. And if you want more formatting options, they're also there, so you can adjust the drop shadow, and you can kerning and lighting, and everything that you might want to adjust is right there within the FotoMagico user interface. And now we already have titles, and I just typed in the name of my slideshow, my great slideshow, and this is now the part where it gets super geeky. I think, Chuck, we both we are not ashamed to call ourselves geeks.
Not a bit.
I think that's fair to say. So this is one of the most exciting things for people that like to geek around and they like to automate stuff a little bit more. And this is what we call placeholders. And so right now with FotoMagico 5, you can add, instead of typing everything, well, baking it into the title, you can just add in a placeholder. And if we go to text and insert placeholder, we can also just tell FotoMagico to please insert the slideshow title. And right now it says slideshow title in brackets, but the moment I click outside of the frame, it actually replaces it with the words my great slideshow. FotoMagico takes that from the slideshow settings, and for each slideshow you can define metadata. In this case, we have the title my great slideshow. And if I change the title here and call it my super great slideshow and click OK, FotoMagico will automatically update this just right inside of the title without touching the title ever again. And if I want to add more metadata to this, I can still go in, say by, and then add in another placeholder and add in the author. So if I click outside again, it will tell me it's my super great slideshow by me, which is super exciting, because like this, you can automate a lot. And now, if you might say this is not geeky enough for me, we can top that even more. So, digital photos that come with what's called EXIF data. So the photo knows about the ISO speed it was shot at. It knows the aperture and everything like that. And all those metadata points from the individual photo can be accessed as well. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding another title, and now I'm going to the text menu, and you will see down there are very many data points that we can access. So in this case, I want to display the aperture, and maybe I also want to display the focal length it was shot at, and at the very end, I want to add the file name. For example, like this, you can create a catalog for your customer, and like this, they know which image file to request from you. And I again click outside of the frame, and now we have the aperture, we have the focal length, and we also have the file name of the actual file on your computer as the photographer. Like this, it's super easy to find that again. And combining those together, like the metadata from the EXIF tags and maybe the slide count and the title of the slideshow and everything like this, you can create spec sheets or very advanced titles for your slideshows. And the cool thing is, if I add a second photo and now just copy over that title, it takes the data from the photo that it's now above. So depending on where it is, the title automatically updates, and you don't have to type that in manually. And that creates so much more possibility when it comes to titling.
Yeah, I'm thinking about lower thirds in using this as a presentation tool, having lower thirds and finding out that you misspelled someone's name improperly, or you need copyright notices across the bottom and you've mistyped those or whatever, and now instead of having to go back and change 27 different slides, you change the metadata and it's done.
Yeah, you could do that, of course. And while you were saying lower thirds, let's jump back to the very beginning and take a look at where is it? Titles. There it is. In the title snippets, we actually do have lower thirds. And so if you want to do that, you can just create lower thirds just like in a video editing application, just by dragging in the lower thirds snippet. And you can just add your name in. So just since you said the keyword, I just thought we can show that as well.
Bastian, there's so many cues here that you've taken from video editing programs. I realize this is designed for still, but I can also see certain limited. That's not fair, but certain kinds of video project that would be easier done in PhotoMagico 5 as opposed to trying to fire up Final Cut or even iMovie.
So while we are at it, and while you said that, let me show you and the viewers a little. Well, it's not really a secret, but a little feature that we have in PhotoMagico. So when that's been in PhotoMagico since version 4. So when you are in the timeline and you are scrubbing over the video and you come to a point where you feel like, well, this is the point where I want this video to end or to begin, you can actually do video editing right inside of PhotoMagico by pressing the C key on the keyboard. So what this does, this cuts the video right underneath the playhead. And like this, I just removed the end of the video, and I can do the same thing with the very beginning. So I scrub again a little bit and feel like, oh, well, this is the point. I press C, this cuts the video, and like this you can do video editing right inside of PhotoMagico just by using the scrubber and the C key, and you can cut your video together just like that.
You're taking up a lot of time of my free time, Bastian, because I want to go and play with this. This is not good.
That's good. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, you would. Very nice. Very nice. So, and I want to make sure that on the video, so you can treat a video snippet just the same way you treat a still photo, drag it into any of the I guess the placeholders, and it just does its thing.
Correct. So let's just try this for a second while we were at it. So let's grab this one here. I think we're still just a little bit short, so I can just go in and grab 2 movies instead of 2 images, drag them in here, and now I can play them back. And as soon as I play them back, they will both play side by side and even animate side by side. And they're both movies. And one could be a movie, one could be a still photo. So the PhotoMagico doesn't care whether it's a photo or a video. It's something visual that you want to present. And you as the user choose what to display when. And PhotoMagico will try its best to help you with that.
So 2 questions before we leave the video part and get back to photos. Question number 1, what resolution do you support in PhotoMagico from an import? And the reverse of the question, what resolutions do you support going back out of PhotoMagico?
We don't have a limit there. The question is, what can the computer handle? We know how powerful modern Macs are, and like a Mac Pro, a modern MacBook Pro, they handle 4K video without a problem. So if you have 4K video, feel free to throw it in. Feel free to edit it. Feel free to animate 4K video. And well, if you're at it, feel free to export 4K video again. And if you have the means of displaying 4K video, go ahead. PhotoMagico does not care, to be quite honest. If your Mac can handle it, PhotoMagico will play and edit and export 4K video.
Wow. Okay, so go back to the photos. I'm not quite sure what you were showing in PhotoMagico. Were you showing your photos stored in Photos, the Apple application Photos?
Correct. So PhotoMagico can access photos. It can the app Photos. It can also access folders on your desktop, on your computer, wherever they are. You can also access Lightroom. You can also access Aperture if you're still using it. So basically, if we go to the preferences of PhotoMagico, you will see all the libraries that PhotoMagico can pull. So we pull Aperture and Lightroom for photos. We pull the Photos library for photos. If you still are using iPhoto, we can also access the iPhoto library, and we can also for audio query iTunes for the audio that's inside of iTunes.
Got it. I sort of thought that was the case, but I wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
Stunning application, and very approachable as opposed to some of the other alternatives out there. both slideshow apps and video editing apps. So this is going to be great for people that are out there shooting video with their iPhones and bring in snippets and want to do something cool with them. I love it. I love it.
Great to hear.
If I don't want to cut you off, do we have any more new features or anything we want to make sure we highlight?
Feature-wise, that's pretty much it. That's the new stuff inside of FotoMagico, built on top of what we had before in FotoMagico 4 already.
Yeah, and it was already a very cool program, to take nothing away from it, but now it's just gone to another level. What kind of pricing do we have for this?
We do have two flavors of FotoMagico. We have an entry version, which is we call FotoMagico 5. That's $49.99 US, of course, and we have the Pro version that has a lot of the Pro features that we saw, including the timeline and audio envelope points and a lot of additional stuff that pros really appreciate, and that one goes for $99.99, and you can get them both at either the website, our website boinx.com, or you can also find them on the Mac App Store.
That was going to be one of my questions. These are both in the App Store.
Correct. Yeah, we wanted them to be available at the App Store because that's where a lot of people just buy their apps, and they just like the convenience of the store. And since we're able to provide them there, we do. You can also purchase the upgrade from 4 to 5 either from the website or on the Mac App Store. And if in the Mac App Store case, if the application recognizes that you were already owning FotoMagico 4, it will also automatically unlock the Pro upgrade for free. So you just buy the $49.99 basic version, and you will get the Pro upgrade for free if you're a FotoMagico 4 owner. And the same thing goes for the download version from our store. If you own a previous version of FotoMagico, you will also get a discount towards the purchase price of FotoMagico 5.
Excellent. Nothing against discounts, but I think that what you've added here is well worth a full new license. So good job.
Thank you very much.
Good job. Once more, the website, of course, is Boinx Software, or no, Boinx.com.
Boinx.com, correct.
Boinx.com, right. Okay, great. And the program is FotoMagico 5.
Correct.
Bastian, it's great to see you, and thanks so much for walking us through this. Very exciting demo, very exciting program that I have an idea is going to suck up a lot of my time. Which is,
as I said, I really don't mind.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit sorry for your time, but it's well worth it, I would say.
I would agree. I'll see you in Vegas in a couple weeks.
Hopefully.
All right, take care.
Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices. I got to go gather some photos and some video snippets because I want to play with FotoMagico 5. Until the next time, and as always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for links, show notes, to subscribe, to connect with Chuck on Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and the MacVoices blog. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter, the MacVoices Dispatch, to stay up to date on all the latest MacVoices news from our front page or at macvoices.com/newsletter. Do more with your Apple tech by subscribing to the free MacVoices magazine on Flipboard by visiting macvoices.com/magazine. Advertising and sponsorships handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by Cashfly at cashfly.com.